And before I get into today's very important live stream lecture, I want to take a moment to really thank all of my supporters who have supported my channel for a little over 3 years. I want to thank my viewers. I want to thank my subscribers. I want to thank my members. And even if you are a consistent viewer who has not subscribed to my channel, I want to thank everyone for making this channel possible. And I'm here to tell you. So with that being said, let's get down to today's very important live stream lecture. I've been wanting to revisit a lecture on this for a while now. The focus of this lecture is going to be how I, Marie Holiday, monetized my YouTube channel, and it took 2.5 years for me to monetize my channel. As of January of 2023, my channel became monetized. And the criteria that I had to meet during that time, I know there's been some adjustments in the monetized criteria, but under the criteria I got monetized under was I had to achieve 4,000 watch hours within 12 months, 365 days. I had to also achieve 1,000 subscribers on my channel. And I'm going to be honest with anyone, that was a tremendous feat. It's a tremendous feat for any YouTube content creator who put forth the effort, the dedication, and the time to, first of all, monetize their channel. There are so many people in this world who start a YouTube channel and quit before they can even get monetized. There are so many people in this world who have the thought, just the thought, to start a YouTube channel and never get past the thought. So for any content creator, because YouTube is the oldest platform. YouTube is, I believe, the first platform, and all of the others are spin-offs, your TikTok, Instagram, and all those other ones out there. But I believe YouTube is the grandfather of social media, and that was one of the driving forces that made me select to go through the steps to get monetized by the grandfather of social media. So for any YouTube monetized content creator, I don't care how big or medium size or small your channel is now, if you got to the point where you monetize your YouTube channel and with dedication and went through the steps, that's a tremendous feat, and I want to congratulate you for that. And I'm here to tell you, my channel now is a little over 3 years old, and I'm gonna tell you one thing, that first year of my channel, I was kind of, hadn't quite really honed in on my niche. And I believe, and this is me talking, because I believe in, everything in life, there's a process, even as a content creator. But in what I discovered along the way is my niche begin to become more cultivated and nurtured each month, each 6 months, each year, all the way up until where it's right now. And my niche is that concept of that money piece, educating people on how to rise above their financial situation, how to get out of debt. That's the core concept of my channel, because the core concept of my channel also ties directly into my book, Awake Financial Freedom. And that was a deliberate strategy move, even though it was unbeknownst to me at the time. But trust me, make no mistake, my book and my YouTube channel, by everything meshing together and tying in, that ties into being guided by the Spirit. So I say that to say, don't be too concerned about if you don't quite know what your niche is. Trust me, just start getting in front of the camera, share your knowledge, skills, and experience on this platform, and your niche will become more emerging over time. But it took me that first year, a whole year. I literally only got, after a little bit after that first year, I had only got 100 subscribers. And when I saw that, I'm thinking, my God, because at that time, 1,000 subscribers at the time of my mindset was an unattainable feat. So a whole year of doing videos, and at the end of that first year, I only had 100 subscribers. And also within that first year, at that time, I was only clocking 30 to 40 watch hours a month. Because understand, I'm trying to learn all this stuff. I'm stumbling around, not really knowing what I was doing. I don't use any of the fancy technology. I still use my smartphone because I'm not tech savvy, but all I knew inside of me was my spirit was guiding me. Don't worry about all that. Just get on this platform and share your knowledge, your experience, and your skills and your testimony on how to rise above financial situation, because I'm here to tell you we all can relate to money, financing, budgeting, getting out of debt, and how to diversify your portfolio. Be on this earth long enough, we can all relate and value from valuable information about that money, budgeting, finances, and etc. So that first year, I only attained 100 subscribers. I was clocking anywhere between 30 to 40 watch hours per month. And to be honest with you, looking back on it back then, I'm gonna keep it real, I was ready to throw in the towel. I was ready to throw in the towel back then, until as I was in the second year, early part of the second year of my channel, I began to change my mindset. I began to change my mindset. I wasn't focusing on other folks' channels. I began to, in that early part of that second year, every day after work or every day on my lunch break, I began to get from behind that camera and get out there in the natural environment. And I began to engage people in real life discussion. Rather it was at the grocery store, the gas station, on the weekends, it was a particular convenience store. I literally hung out. I got to know those cashiers. So I began to engage people early part of that second year in everyday dialogue, walk up to them, introduce myself. I have a way of drawing information out of people. I have a way of listening to people. And as I was doing that, people have a way of just feeling comfortable around me. They were self-disclosing to me about information about their goals, dreams, aspirations, problems, financial problems, relationship problems, being excited about being a first-time parent. So I'm just listening and drawing these people in naturally. And I was doing this religiously every day. And then at a certain point, I would skillfully say, hey, by the way, I got a YouTube channel. And, I would tell them about the concept of my channel. And before I can even get my little spiel out, they would be whipping their phone out or subscribing to my channel on the spot, literally. And what I was noticing the early part of that second year, that whole second year, because I was in the trenches, in the field, engaging people, I began to start clocking over 100 for a solid year. I was getting over 100 natural subscribers a month for a whole year. Literally 100 natural subscribers with individuals who I had met with and engaged in dialogue. 100 natural subscribers per month in my doggone zip code. And that's when my channel began, my subscriptions and my watch hours began to rise and rise and rise and rise and rise before my eyes. And I'm here to tell you, then I began to see my watch hours, because historically that first year, my watch hours were only clocking 30 to 40 watch hours in a month. But when I began to really get out there in the trenches, now I begin to see my watch hours hitting 400 watch hours a month, 500, 600, 800, 900 watch hours in 1 month when I changed my mindset in terms of the direction that I was taking this channel. And I'm here to tell you, and it's something like the spirit came over me, because I took marketing in college, and the spirit said, God said, use your marketing skills that are already inside of you and get your behind out there in the real world. There's a big old wide world out there. We meeting people everywhere we go. So get out there in the real world and engage people. Engage people in dialogue. And that's literally what I would do. And understand the backdrop behind that. It ain't like I was just walking up to 100 plus strangers. Think about that. That's a lot of people. I was literally engaging 100 plus strangers a month for over a year. And if I didn't feel their spirit, if I didn't discern their spirit, I would not approach them. Because I may have engaged 100 plus strangers a month, but I may have observed prior to me engaging them 200 strangers a month. So if I didn't feel the spirit, if I wasn't discerning them, I would still speak to them and acknowledge that person, but then keep it moving. But if I discern their spirit, I would speak to them and engage in dialogue. And I'm here to tell you. So what occurred the latter part of that second year, because I attained over 1,000 natural subscribers, it was to the point I couldn't go nowhere in my zip code. I couldn't go nowhere in my zip code without running into these 1,000 plus natural subscribers. And then I took it a step further. I would engage those natural subscribers in private follow-up dialogue. You know, a lot of them would say, yeah, I would listen, and they would say, oh, I'm doing fine. You know, I'm excited about being a first-time parent. I went on this trip. Or, oh, by the way, can you give me some more tips on finances? So I literally became the unofficial go-to person in my zip code with these 1,000 people who knew me on a personal level. And I'm here to tell you, that was the secret right there that brought my channel to a whole nother level. To the point now I looked up, I got the email, that notification from YouTube, and YouTube said you have met all of the requirements in terms of beyond 4,000 watch hours. I think at the time I was clocking 8,000 watch hours. I had gained a total of 8,000 watch hours by the time I monetized, and well over the 1,000 subscribers when I changed my mindset and when I was guided by the spirit to cultivate and develop and to monetize my channel. You know, I tell anybody, you know, and that has to be internally driven. If you think you're going to do this thing quick, if you're doing it just to get monetized and make money, I'm telling you, your audience is going to be able to discern that when you're in front of this camera. You got to have a higher purpose for this. And one of my purposes, because my channel is going to outlive Marie Holiday. And I'm here to tell you, when people in my bloodline, 100 years in the future, I want them to be able to watch my lectures and listen to my lectures and say, man, that's my great-great-grandfather, mother, or my niece, or my cousin, or whoever. I want to be able to impart my knowledge, skills, life experience on these platforms to uplift, to educate, to motivate the listener in order to have an impact on defeating all of this toxicity and negativity that is in this world. You know, we all, I believe, have knowledge, skills, abilities unique given to us by God. And by utilizing those knowledge and gifts on these platforms, it is needed. I'm here to tell you. And I'll also say that another driving forces in terms of me developing and cultivating and monetize my YouTube channel is I gave myself a goal to have my channel, to have this platform monetized before I retire. And I don't know if the audience is aware, I've been on vacation since last Friday. My retirement date is September the 6th of 2023. I will be on vacation all the way until September the 6th. And when I go to work September the 6th, the purpose of that is offboarding, determining in my personal effects, and have my exit interview with HR. And my vacation will start September the 7th at 8 o'clock in the morning. I paid my dues. So I say that to say I've been achieved my goal to monetize my YouTube channel prior to my retirement. So if I was able to do all this and monetize the channel at the same time when I was working a lot of hours, then I'm telling you, anyone can do this as long as you change your mindset, understand the concept of the channel, be internally driven versus externally driven. I create my content for audience of one versus the masses. I create my content that is spiritually driven, and I'm here to tell you, and I'm telling you, when I really wrap my mind around that audience of one, which also has a biblical sense. The audience of one is God. The audience of one is guided by the Spirit. I'm telling you, you ain't no longer worried about numbers. You ain't worried about analytics. You ain't worried about monetize. The way I see it, my channel is limitlessly. I don't see my channel as small. No, I have the mindset that my channel is big. It's big to me. It's big to God, because I'm going to never stray away from the core concept of my channel. And I'm here to tell you. And that's what it's all about. I also deliberately and strategically, and I tell people this, and I've done a prior lecture on this, is also I deliberately utilize this platform to, number one, to market my business, Parents and Associates Resource Center. I'm always going to put a link to my business website in my description, and I literally use this social media platform to steer business to my company. My company, 20 years strong, even though I let it lay dormant for several years, but my company, 20 years strong, been around long before YouTube. So I use this platform to market my brand, to market my company. You know, one of the primary services under my company, I phased out all of my clinical services. You know, as a licensed clinical addiction expert, you know, I made a lot of money under the clinical world, under my business, in terms of doing substance abuse evaluations, court order evaluations, clinical supervision, training for people who were going after the credential that I had, that they had to be required to do clinical supervision under a licensed person, which means going into an executed contract, and they had to pay for those services. Several years ago, I phased out all that because I came full circle in the clinical world, and I added on in terms of, I wrote my book under my company. All of the money that I paid my publishing company to transform my manuscript into a finished book was a business write-off. So that's another service under my company. I use this platform to market my book. It can be purchased ebook version, soft copy version. Pretty soon it'll be in audio book. I use this platform to always market my primary service of my professional business coaching services under my company, because YouTube can shut me down right now. That is not going to stop my company from generating monthly revenue. That's not going to stop my publishing company sending me my royalty checks every single quarter for the sales of my book. That money is not going to stop. You know, I've been generating money by marketing my services and products on social media, YouTube channel, before I was monetized. So I say that to say, don't just be YouTube driven, have the mindset, I need to also market my other services, products, and talents to generate money as I'm on the trajectory path to monetize my YouTube channel. That's the business side behind it, and I'm here to tell you. And I've done prior lectures on this in terms of understanding the power of utilizing YouTube as a marketing strategy, basic business 101, to drive sales to your business website, to drive sales towards your product, and to have multiple streams of income. That's the power behind it right there, and I'm here to tell you. And the key thing as a content creator, and I'm going to always say this, the key thing as a content creator is make sure, it is critical, make sure that you maintain a balance. You know, it's no different from, you know, I'm getting ready to retire after being in the workforce for over 40 years. All my life as going to work every day on a W-2 form and working 8 hours. Trust me, when it's time for you to get off, you go home. You ain't bring, I will hope, you ain't bringing that job home with you. You ain't bringing work home with you. So you had a balance on your jobs. So no different from being a content creator. Have a balance by being a content creator. Deplug. You know, when I present my lectures, you know, I appreciate all my supporters listening in. I'm going to acknowledge them. Everybody know one of my styles is I'm going to acknowledge my supporters who are listening versus going into dialogue back and forth, because I'm just focused where I got to present this information, acknowledge my supporters who are listening, and when the lecture is done, I'm going to deplug and move on with the rest of my day. The cameras ain't rolling on Marie Holiday 24/7. And that ties into having that balance. YouTube ain't my life. YouTube don't pay my bills. No, I use this as a way to share my knowledge, skills, and experience to market my brand, to market my business, and to market my book, to increase my revenue. So I'm going to invest all that money. But key thing, have a balance, deplug, and move on with the rest of your day and the rest of your life, and that'll keep you mentally sharp. And I'm here to tell you, you know, to each his own. You know, I've all my life, I've always known, even when I was in the military, you know, in the military, you gotta really be strategic in maintaining the balance, because when you're under that contract with the federal government, it's no such thing as you're off just because you go home and you take that uniform off. No, you belong to the government for however long you in there, but I still maintain a balance even when I served during the Desert Storm era, and I'm here to tell you. And I've always maintained a balance on working all my jobs, state government, all these years. I maintain a balance. I'm going to take my lunch break. I'm going to take my vacation time. I'm going to have my me time, and I'm doggone sure going to maintain a balance as a content creator, and I'm here to tell you. So ladies and gentlemen, that's all I have. This is a very important topic in regards to how I monetize my YouTube channel, and it took me 2.5 years to monetize. And I'm gonna say this: if anybody, and that's one, I believe, this me talking, I believe YouTube designed this monetized process with stringent criterias to rule out the ones who ain't serious, to rule out the ones who think that they're going to step on this platform and get monetized in 30 days. I mean, you hear about that stuff. I'm thinking, really? Because the way I've been raised all my life, anything in this world of true value, anything in this world of true value, if it comes too quick, you better run from it. And I'm here to tell you, that's one of the reasons as a young woman, I could have went in any branch of the military. I selected the Marine Corps because everybody knows that is the hardest branch of the military to successfully graduate. Paris Island, back in my era, it was no joke. You know, I don't do easy. And that was one of the reasons why I selected YouTube, because when I looked at the requirements early on, when I said, ain't no way in the world I'm gonna be able to do this. But because I'm internally driven, it was just like a personal goal of mine, and I'm here to tell you. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell you, that is the steps in the process behind the scene that I took to monetize my YouTube channel. And I'm here to tell you, no one could have told me I could have done this. no one could have told me. So I appreciate all of my supporters chiming in. Share this lecture. For any content creator, whether they monetize or not, they need to hear this, because another key thing, even after you become monetized, make sure you do not pull away from the concept of your channel. Everything you do should tie into the concept. Read my about information. Yeah, I talk about other topics, but those topics are educational, motivational, uplifting, and spiritually in nature. But the true concept of my channel is that money piece, and it links to my book. So even after you become monetized, stay true to your mission, goals, and objective. Because if you stray away from that, your audience is going to know. They're going to pick up on it. And I'm here to tell you. That's all I have. Simplify, simple fidelis. And I'm going to leave you in the care of your own conscience. Have a great day.